Hi, I want to give you a quick run through an Orcs and Goblins city, that is Chapter 8. The game has changed since I first started playing. The availability of expansions has been cut back. They've become quite a lot more expensive for various reasons because people's cities were growing too big. So it's a little more difficult now to have a really big city. So I'm going to show you quickly. Let's go and have a look at some file photos that I have of my first city, my main city. Much bigger, you see. The other city is only about that size. I bought all these other expansions in my main city because they were dirt cheap back then. But those days are now gone. So now the game has changed. It's become a skill thing to pack a lot of action into a very small space. And you can see I'm doing quite nicely here. I want to, first of all, starting off in settlements though, I want to explain to you that Timon, in one of the question and answer sessions, said that people struggle, particularly with dwarves and with orcs and goblins, because they go on forever and ever, you never get finished, and they become quite painful. Now, Timon's answer to that is that they've run simulations on an ideal city, so everything that happens in Elvenar has been tested on any number of simulated games before it gets released, and they've come up with certain figures and balances that work ideally. And he says the most common problem is that people don't have a big enough settlement. These are the guest race buildings. People tend to tack their settlement onto the edge, so you get a long, thin, stringy thing with one building here and one there and two there and one more, and you're going to really struggle. You've got to have a good 20% of your city devoted to settlements, and as you go further and further in the game, when you get to sorcerers and dragons, you're going to need a really massive, massive, massive area, and I'm going to show it to you now. See, this is the main city I was talking about, the one I showed you earlier. It's gone quite a long way since that photo that you looked at. But this is the settlement for sorcerers and dragons. See, it's massive. It's more than 20 blocks. So you better start getting ready for that now when you're in Orcs Chapter, because one of these days your settlement will need to get bigger and bigger and bigger as your game progresses. Okie dokie. Well, this is not an ideal settlement. It's still too small. But I'm going to be getting an expansion one of these days, and I'll get one or two there, and then I'll move all of this stuff out that away, and then I can make my settlement that size. Okay, general issues. First of all, you can see the houses have changed direction. Let's just zoom in. You can see the residences are now 4x3, whereas they used to be 3x3. So you used to have your residences running this away from north to south. You now have them up against the road with the shortest area touching the road running from west to east, that away. Then, of course, the next thing we have to look at is the armories. Now, whether you fight or not, you may be a conscientious objector and refuse to fight, well, that's fair enough, but you have to have breeding grounds, they're called now. See, it says an armory has become a breeding ground in Orc Chapter. It goes up to level 23 because it produces orcs, and you will need orcs for exploring provinces on the world map, particularly if you're a non-fighter, and you will need them for all kinds of upgrades and technologies in this chapter. So you're going to need 3 orc armories. They are 5x5. Number 2 is that I haven't done my workshops yet. I haven't taken them up to Orc. These are still fairy because I haven't unlocked that yet on the tech tree. I'll tell you why now. But you need to get them up because you're going to find you need masses of supplies here, and you don't want to be cycling quests all the time. The next thing is I've still got a fairy main hall, and because I was going to make this video, I've been saving a little treat for us all, because this is the tech tree, and I've done all the knowledge points, and I've scraped together, really struggled, I scraped together to get enough loot and enough shrooms of wisdom to activate it. So let's do that. Bang. Okay, so now we have our main hall. Now let's build it. Let's upgrade it. There we go, upgrade. Why have I done this? Because I'm going to tell you now that you mustn't go on the tech tree. You've got to build your settlement first. Use everything to get your settlement up and going. Why have I done that? Because the main hall, I need it because I'm struggling to get enough supplies. So if I upgrade my main hall, my supply situation becomes much, much better. I get many more supplies from visits to my fellowship and on the world map. So the sooner I get that main hall upgraded, the better. Righty, now let's look at the settlement, shall we? Let's zoom in a little bit. Here we go. This is a level 1 mushroom farm. Now I want to explain to you that you must get your mushroom farms up to level 4 as soon as you can, because they make materials that are going to make this chapter either go slow or fast. Don't do anything else until your portal, which is over there, and your mushroom farms are maxed out. So let's go and look at something. Let's go and look at the portal. Okay, here in the wiki is an overview of the portal, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. The first upgrade, you don't need special materials, but thereafter you need 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 hard shrooms, and you need quite a large amount of debris as well. But you have to do it because it increases your production by 20, 40, and 60%. And on top of that, it increases your storage capacity. And when you get to the end of the chapter, if you don't have this storage, you will not finish the chapter. Mine is already level 2, and I'm going to upgrade it now. I've been saving a treat for us all for this video. And then we just click over there and we upgrade. There you go. So now we're going up from level 2 to level 3. You will notice, of course, that I've left enough space because the portal is going to go from 5 to 6. So I've left those blocks there. So when I'm finished with this upgrade and I do the next one, I don't have to move things around. I've left enough space to put it there. Good. So I'm now on the way to making a level 3 portal, and that will give an extra 20% to my production. My mushroom farms are, there's a level 3, one that I've upgraded. These are all level 2. Here I've kept just one to show you, which I will upgrade now when we're finished. But this is a level 1. So just let's have a look at what the farms do. You need at least 20. 30 would not hurt. What they do is they produce the raw materials that you use for this chapter. They produce hard shrooms, which are used for upgrading your settlement buildings. Psycho shrooms, which are used in the rally points. We'll have a look for what. Power shrooms, which are used also to make things in the rally points. And the shroom of wisdom is one of the 2 commodities that you need on the research tree. I have a tip in Elvenar Platinum Leaf. I'm going to just quickly show it to you now. Here it is, everything you need to know about the Orcs and Goblins chapter, and I'll give you the link underneath the video in the description of the video if you want to come and look here, because all this information is written down. It can be very confusing. Farms make this, farms make that, rally points make this. You can just put it in your bookmarks bar and come back every time that you need to remind yourself. Here it is. Okay, bookmark this for easy reference, Control+D. And you need to just go into here, into the text, and there is a lot of info there which I'm not going to bore you with now. I don't want the video to get too long. But for example, what makes what? Here we go. Mushroom farms. Hard shrooms are used for upgrading your building. Psycho shrooms are used to make debris and to make dung. Power shrooms are used to make loot. Shrooms of wisdom are required on the tech tree, and they're also made in the rally point. Let's go look. Here is a typical rally point. Let's look inside. Okay, I don't have enough of anything, you see. I've got my mushroom farms are not making enough. So this is a level 1 rally point. You don't want to upgrade it now because I haven't got enough materials. The upgraded mushroom farm, the higher you take it, the more it makes in the same time. The rally point, the higher you take it, the greater the speed. So it doesn't help if I haven't got enough to upgrade it yet, so we'll just hang back there. So there is your philosophy for the Orcs and Goblins chapter. Get your portal and your mushroom farms going so that you can make materials. Leave the tech tree alone, don't touch it. Rather take all your materials, push them into the mushroom farms and push them into the portal, get them really upgraded so they're producing tons of goods. Then you come to the Orc Rally Point and you can start making these raids, and you can start making your Shroom of Wisdoms that you will use to go up the tech tree. But the trick with the Orc chapter is, if you don't want it to go on and on and on forever, then get your settlement zapped up. Get a nice big settlement with level 4 buildings. Don't go anywhere near the research. Just get your production maximized. This applies to every single guest race chapter that you will ever do. Get the settlement working full steam, and then go to the tech tree. It will slow you down in the beginning, it will be agonizing, but it will double your speed at the end of the chapter, so instead of taking 6 weeks, you'll do it in 4. So there you go. There are 4 kinds of productions in the Orc Rally Point: armaments, orc dung, turds, debris, and loot. The loot is used on the tech tree. The debris is used to upgrade your buildings. The dung is used to make the Shrooms of Wisdom, which are used on the tech tree. And you will also need these armaments to make the raid. Now, I'm not going to, this is very confusing, but it's in the tip I just showed you, you see. We'll go look. See, Orc Rally Points. All productions require, you need to make orcs in your breeding grounds. And then here's armaments, there's dung, there's debris, and there's loot. You can just plonk this on your bookmarks bar and go back and look at it when you get confused. So now we've done the mushroom farms and the rally points, and I've showed you the armory. So we've looked at the basics of the Orc chapter, which, as I said, is have a nice big settlement and get those farms making lots and lots and lots of goodies before you do anything else. Just take a breather from the game. Relax. It doesn't seem like much is happening because you're not going up the research tree, you're not really moving. Just play tournaments for a week or two while the settlement is building. See? Now, the last thing I have to say to you is that tip I showed you. Next door to it, there's this one. Fast tracking the Orcs and Goblins chapter, and I'm not even going to go in there because the video is getting painfully long, but I'm going to explain to you now what it's all about. This is a typical elven city. We have our main hall up there, and we have all the culture buildings squeezed along there now, and we're short of space. Okay, so what are we going to do about this? Well, the fast tracking tip is that you're going into Wood Elves chapter next. That's chapter 9. And in Wood Elf chapter, you need everything that you do in Wood Elf chapter has to have a substance called mana. And mana is made in cultural buildings, but unlike these cultural buildings that don't need a road, mana requires street contact. So in other words, these culture buildings here are absolutely useless. You're going to have to replace them with something that makes mana. So as soon as you've upgraded the main hall, and as soon as you've upgraded the workshops, you don't have to worry about the factories. You can upgrade them later. They are not critical. Once you've got all your upgrades, your houses upgraded, your main hall, your workshops, your barracks, our barracks has got to go up in size, you see. But once I've done that, then I can sell every single culture building that I own because I will never be using them again. And look at all the space that clears up, you see. Then you can go and do a bit of research on the Wood Elf chapter when you get towards there. And you're going to need to put in a road along the top because the new buildings will need a road. And you're going to need to sort of move things around here and there. But you'll have plenty of space. And you can build some more mushroom farms. How's that for a lovely story? So that's what you have to look forward to. That is the Orc chapter summed up in a nutshell. Get a nice big settlement. Get the settlement up to full production, level 4 portal, level 4 farms, and then upgrade the rally points as you need. When you notice that you have more goods than you can process, then you upgrade them. If that never happens, then you don't even bother. Then what you do is get these workshops, main hall, barracks, and residences upgraded, sell all your culture, and then you can sit back, reorganize your city, and you'll be finished in a week or two. Simple as that. Well, I hope that was useful. If you want to see more videos of this nature, then just go underneath the video and click on the little box that says subscribe, and then we will get notifications to you when new videos come out. And we'll see you around then. Thanks for being with us. Bye.